Great Ife. Articulate Ife. Ever conscious Ife. All right, good afternoon, everyone. It's good to be home. This is home for me. Thank everyone for this opportunity. I can remember some years back, sitting down in adjusted lecture theater to receive lectures CHM 101. How many of us understand what I'm talking about? CHM 101, CHM 102, and then you need to run from one end of the campus to another end of the campus to receive lectures. Do we still do that? All right, that is one of the things, part of the things that makes great Ife students great Ife students. We are exposed to, so to say, a lot of shege, right? But those sheges eventually makes us who we are, and I'm very proud to be here this afternoon. I want to appreciate Oluwatomisin Ekundayo and his team, the Ytop global team, young, talented, optimistic, and full of potentials. And it's a great honor to be here this morning or this afternoon. I do not take it for granted. Can we please put our hands together for ourselves? Right. I have an assignment to do here this afternoon. You know, being invited for a global conference like this is exciting. When you get invited for a global conference like this, that you'll be speaking to different people, 32 universities from 7 countries, this. It's exciting because it's an opportunity to pour out yourself to other people. But for me, it also comes with responsibility. It comes with responsibility because I understand the fact that for everyone that will leave whatever it is they have to do to come to attend this conference, it means they are placing premium on this conference above other things that they should have been doing. And that also means that for everyone that is going to have the opportunity to speak, value. And I know that for everyone that I've spoken, you have gotten value already. True or false? All right. So, and I'm holding myself in very high regard also that I'll be able to deliver value within the limited time that I have this afternoon. I know you have expectations, and our expectations will be met this afternoon. So, a quick one. Excite people like that make people shout, scream. Have you got to conferences that you hear somebody speak and everybody is screaming, hey, ooh? I'm not that kind of speaker. I've learned to understand myself. I'm more of a person that triggers or makes you want to think. I'm able to have a rethink of some of the things that you have had or believed before, and then help you to make choices. So this afternoon, that is what I seek to do. I'm excited at some point, but my job here this afternoon is to give to you tools that might help you to make better informed decisions. I will have said this to come up to talk, but it's not out of place. That if you don't plan to act on a things you are going to be hearing today, don't write them down. If you don't plan to act on the things you are going to be hearing today, don't write them down. And if you are not planning to write down, then you don't have a business here. Frivolous people. Gathering ourselves together here in this place is about intentionality. There is something we are working at. There is something we are working to achieve. It's not just that we're having programs for program's sake. It's that everyone that be a part of this program can have something to hold on to and then continue the journey of becoming. Yes, the journey of becoming. This is our... I have not even started. I remember very vividly when I was in part 2, part 3. Yes, part 3. Part 3, and then before that time, I've always read books. I borrow books, I read books, and then I return the books back to the owner. But one day, I remember vividly, I was walking back from White House, going back to our... That's Tomisin. A time will come, all the knowledge, all the exposure you are having from the books you are reading, people will ask you about them. People might even want to ask, can I see those books? And then, what will now be the story? So I made up my mind from that point that for every pocket money that I have every month, I'm going to separate a part of it and use that to buy books for myself and start building up my own library. So every month, when any money comes into my account, even while in school, I buy a book. And before Moremi Hall, now they have used that to build a lecture theater. There used to be a market before Moremi Hall there. We have all these people, marketsmen. So I went to one of the artists there, and I asked him to help me make a stamp. I asked him to make a stamp, and then I gave a name for that stamp based on the revelation I had, and I call it Eternal Excellency. I did that, got the stamp, got the rubber, got everything, and then every month when I buy a book, I stamp it, I write the date, I sign on it, and then I start reading. And as I read, my mind got bigger, and then at a point, I bought a new note, and I wrote on that note, School of Leadership. And then, as I read, I started jotting things down about leadership, how to lead, and all of that. And then one day, somebody saw the book and asked me, sorry, where is this school that you're attending? I said, it's not any school located anywhere. It's a school that I have put myself into. It is a school I have created myself going to. I know a time will come, I will have the privilege to stand before multitude to speak to them. And when that time comes, I don't want that I have the opportunity and they are saying, come and talk. And they are saying, Because the truth is this, whether you prepare or not, your time will come. At that time, is going to be a function of the things you have learned or you have refused to learn. So that was how my journey started. The journey of becoming. That one day I know I'm going to be a leader. Where, when, how, I don't know. But I will start this journey. So I started reading, and ever times in different locations at different gatherings to have the privilege of leadership. So I've been asked to talk this afternoon on innovation and leadership. Innovation and leadership. And there's a clause, how individuals and organizations can leverage innovation for personal development skills. Innovation and leadership. How individuals and organizations can leverage innovation for personal development and personal growth. I will share some stories, but I will delve more on what I have prepared to present to you. Now, I have some opening statements. If you don't mind, you can get a pen, get a book, and write down these things. Bedrock upon which my conversation, my thoughts, my discussion is going to be on. Are we ready? Are we ready? Yes. Number one, the journey of becoming begins with a consciousness and awareness of who you are. The journey of becoming begins with a consciousness and awareness of who you are. I just tell you the story of how I started buying books every month out of my pocket money. to read, study, and prepare myself. How did I get to that level? Because I had an awareness. One day will come, I will stand before kings and not mere men. And if I'm going to be able to stand and deliver at the level, at that level, then I must have to start preparing myself. So, then number 2. This is a bit long, but I crave your indulgence to get it. There is a way that seemeth right. There is a way that seemeth right. And there is a way that is right. In the journey of becoming, there is a way that seemeth right. And there is a way that is right. Both ways don't lead to the same destination. Both ways don't lead to the same destination. Finding the right way may take time. Finding the right way may take time, but it will be worth the efforts and patience if we find it than going on the way that seemeth right. Hello? Hello? I hope I'm speaking to young people here. Of course, I'm still a young man myself. There is a way that seemeth right. In the journey of becoming, you see somebody you admire, you want to be like that person, and you think there is a way to go about it. There is a way that seemeth right, and there is a right way. Now, both ways don't lead to the same destination. The way that seems right, that somebody embarks on, and the way that is right will not lead to the same destination. Now, finding the right way can sometimes be laborious. But if you find that right way, it will eventually pay for all the time that you think you have lost trying to find that way. So, we must understand that perfectly. Number 3, the journey of becoming is personal and individualistic. It is what? It's personal. And I must tell you, sometimes it becomes lonely. Lonely, lonely, lonely. Sometimes that the journey of becoming can become lonely. All right, so I've had the privilege of being in the learning and young people, and then helping them and all of that. And now I'm making a transition. Now, technology is the in thing, right? Then if you are going to be relevant in the next 5 or 10 years, you must find your way. Skills, data analysis, and then low app development. And sometimes I sit down hours trying to learn. But you know what? When you come out, people don't see the number of hours you are spending trying to learn. It is what you do outside that people applaud. Embrace it. You must embrace that moment of seemingly loneliness when you are all by yourself, working on yourself. And because really becoming starts from inside. Hello? Becoming starts from where? From inside. So it must be something that starts from within and then you grow up to that. And then delve into my conversation. The only guarantee that tomorrow will be better than today is growth. The only guarantee that tomorrow, if I look back at 5 years and down the line that I've been on this journey and the things I've been able to do, the only thing that I've made today better like this, I will tell you it's not possible. Because I used to be a very shy, timid person and an introvert at that. Everything starts and ends here. I mean, I was like that. You know everything here. But when it's time for you to come out, it's not my thing. I mean, I was like that. It's not my thing. When will it become your thing? A time will come that you will have to stand up and speak for yourself. If you are not willing to take that bold step of becoming that person that can speak for yourself, you are going to limit the expression of what you can do. Up was Dr. Miles Monroe. I read so much of his books. I wanted to be like him. Another person that inspired me so much is Dr. John C. Maxwell. There's nowhere in the world that you talk about leadership and not talk about John C. Maxwell. And I've been privileged. I'm a trained facilitator on one of his programs. So, the journey what's going to make tomorrow better than today is the growth that is taking place. And growth starts from within before it's seen outside. If you see a butterfly trying to develop and it's at the larva stage, and then the larva stage, it looks like it is struggling, and you make an attempt to help it. Of the butterfly. Because by tearing it with your hand, you have not allowed the butterfly to develop the capacity what it needs to manifest as a butterfly. So it starts from within, and you must embrace growth. Now, if you don't mind, I want you to draw this process flow. Draw this process flow in your notes. Sometimes this is how I do my thing. Draw this process flow. I have limited time to go. Now, put knowledge in front of an arrow and put decisions. Decisions. In front of decisions, put an arrow leading to actions. And then after actions, you have results. Did you get it? Knowledge leading to thoughts leads to what? Convictions. Convictions leads to what? Decisions. Decisions leads to actions, and actions produce results. What all of us are looking for, if I'm going to summarize it, the greatest thing we are all looking for is results. True or false? Hello? If you are starting a business, what are you looking for? What shows if you are doing well as a student is your what? Your results. Your GPA, your CGPA, as the case may be. If you are into anything, what we are looking for is results. And from my own experience and how I've interacted, what I've learned, this is the things that I believe produce knowledge. Knowledge helps you to generate ideas that you think about. Every thought you think comes from something you have been exposed to. True or false? Hello? Now, when it comes to knowledge, there are 4 E's that brings knowledge to us, that brings us ideas of what to think about. Education, formal and informal. If you're in school, outside of school, you have education. Our experience. Mommy spoke to us how she got the idea of wanting to become a major in the army. What happened? An experience. She had an experience, and that experience created an impression on her heart. And that made her to want to, from that experience, she had a conviction and made a decision. Am I communicating? And then the third E is your exposure. Exposure. Vlade talked about exposure. Get out. I remember those days when I was on campus, I would travel with from my pocket money, travel for conferences to different places, just trying to expose myself to things. Great Ife is great, right? Great Ife is great, but everything does not end with Great Ife. Hello? Everything does not end in Great Ife. When you get to UI, there was a time during the holiday, that time strikes were a common thing. No, there's a time that strike is general. There is localized strike. And Ife is used for localized strike those days. So there was this Aluta Continua Victoria Asata that happened. And then only Ife was on break. And then I had to go to UI to visit my friend. And when I got to my UI, and I saw the way things were done, the organization of the hostels, the way the students are, I knew there's always a better way to do things. So exposure will help you get that perspective. And when you expose yourself, it will give you an idea of what to think about. It will give you an idea of what to think about. And then the last part is engagement. So education, experience, exposure, engagement. Engagement talks about the people you interact with, your association. Whether you like it or not, the people you are interacting with are influencing you in one way or the other. So these things are very, very critical. Knowledge is important for everyone. If you are going to become, what do you want to become? That's the first thing to ask. What do you want to become? I'm happy that some people have spoken ahead of me. I'm just going to use their own example as my own reference point. Lade was speaking, and then when she wanted to go into shoemaking, she had to do research. Hello? She had to do research. So, in becoming what has been done in the field I want to go into, knowledge. And there is knowledge in different forms. There is normal knowledge and there is critical knowledge. If you relate with business people, the things they share in business seminar is not what they are using in business. So, hello? They are smiling. The things they share in business, in seminars, is not all there is to the business they are running. There are critical knowledge about that business that is like their trade secret. They don't share it anyhow. It is only when you have the privilege of getting to their inner sanctum that you have opportunity of getting a glimpse of what they do. So that is why some business people, they have this mentoring clinic that they do for in-house we. So this is how I have built the business from scratch to what it is now. So there is critical knowledge for that profession that you want to get into. So you have to seek those knowledge. You have to go out of your way to look for the knowledge. And then I talked about thoughts. The thoughts. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. We are talking about innovation and leadership. And there is no way you can talk about innovation and leadership that you not talk about the core of your thinking. What you are thinking. The quality of your thought is what determines the quality of your life. So I used to teach in an A-level school. And then I teach students the Cambridge A-level syllabus. I teach students the Cambridge A-level syllabus. And then over the years that I was teaching, my students happen to, by grace of God, and then, of course, the ability to teach, they get to have the best results. Now, the Cambridge syllabus is supposed to run for 2 years, but where I was teaching, we do it for 10 months. And then we produce the same kind of results. And then so, that's in a way affected or gave me an understanding. If the UK system that designed the syllabus said we should do it for 2 years, and I am able to do the same thing in 10 months and produce the same result, who is better? Huh? Well, it's not a definitive answer, but it gave me a sense of consciousness and awareness. I can do this. This is like my strong point. So I stayed with learning and development, helping students to learn, helping students to grow. It's one area that I know I am very good with. So your thoughts. Now, knowledge gives you ideas of what to think about. The raw material of your thought is knowledge. What you are thinking now, or what you have thought about before now, is a function of the knowledge you have been exposed to. True or false? Hello? The knowledge you have been exposed to. There is nobody that thinks out of the vacuum. It is either something you read, something you are exposed to, something you experienced, or somebody you interacted with that gives you the idea of what to think about. Now, I won't be surprised if there's somebody in this room that's already thinking of going into shoemaking like Lade. Am I communicating? You might not go into shoemaking. Your own might not be, you want to start making belts. We know of leather belts. Can we also start making customized belts? And you know what? That is innovation. Innovation actually thrives on what is existing, but doing it in a different way. Am I communicating? So knowledge gives you an idea of what to think about. And when you have thought about something for so long, it becomes your conviction. Are we together? When you have thought about something for so long, it becomes your what? Your conviction. That is when you know whether this is what I want to do or not. And your convictions are very strong. Sometimes it's difficult to dissuade people from their convictions. Am I communicating? Have you met people that you interact with, and then interacting with them, they are very strong or certain beliefs? That even when those beliefs are not producing results, they cannot relate with why they should change. Am I communicating? Convictions. They are strong beliefs. And it comes from the thought that you have meditated, ruminated over and over again. And consciously or unconsciously, your convictions will lead you to make decisions. Your convictions will lead you to start making decisions. If you believe you cannot, then your decision will be, I cannot. Am I communicating? If you are convinced that I can do this thing, the next thing that happens is you begin to make decisions in the direction of how can I? And at the moment you have come to the point of having your convictions settled and you are making decisions, the next thing that happens is what? Actions. You start taking actions. So, if I look at my journey and how far I have come from undergraduate to now, I have seen this trajectory, the actions I have taken. Everybody that have known me for the past 5 down to 10 years, you understand that I have been on the same path. Youth development and leadership. Youth development and leadership. Yes, I love business. I do small business. But that is not my strong point. That is not my strong point. But anything that has to do with empowering young people, leadership development, That is where I am. That is my space. And that is a product of my convictions and the decisions I have made over time. And so my actions are in that direction, and I'm seeing results. Although the results are not yet as much as I want them to be, but the results are there. I'm seeing results. Am I communicating? So, 5 minutes more. Thank you. You need to be conscious about this. Knowledge opens you up to a vista of opportunities, of things to think about. Your exposure, your education, your experience, and your engagement. These are some of the things that provides knowledge or a raw material for what to think about. Your thought is critical. If you are going to innovate, innovation basically is doing the same thing in a new way. I wrote down here. So what is innovation? Innovation is the process of creating new ideas, products, or methods to solve problems or meet needs. New ideas. There is nothing that is new under the heaven. True or false? Everything is just an increased version of what has been existing. And a case in point, how many of us are Apple users here? iPhone users? A case in point, why do people want to use iPhone and not other Android phones? Why do we have iPhone 7, iPhone 8, iPhone 9, 10, 11, XR, name them, 14, and then if you bring them side by side, they are almost, if not totally, the same. True or false? Am I communicating? But if you look deeper, you will see that maybe iPhone 13 has something, just a small feature that iPhone 12 does not have. And so somehow what Apple has done is they have an idea of what they want to do, and they just put small in this one. They keep the rest. And then they, sometimes from research and design, they get feedback from customers. And then they use that to create new features that they will add to the phone. So basically, innovation is you creating new things on what is already existing. So if you are going to create new things as it were from what already, you must know what is existing already. Am I communicating? If you are going to help people solve problems, you must know what methods have been used that have not been able to solve the problem appropriately. So that is basically what innovation is about. Now, in wrapping up this afternoon, I'm going to talk 4 behaviors of innovative leaders as I wrap up this conversation. 4 behaviors of innovative leaders. 4 behaviors of innovative leaders. Number 1. Are we ready? Number 1, they ask the right provocative questions. They ask the right provocative questions. They ask questions a lot. And the questions is to challenge status quo. You know, there's a way you ask questions that you want to know. Hello? And there's a way you ask questions to make the person look foolish. Talk to me now. But a person that wants to learn, that wants to be innovative, they ask the right provocative questions. So why are we doing this? So I had this story of somebody that every time he buys fish, probably I've had a story before. Every time he buys fish, he cuts off the head and cuts off the tail. and throw it away. And then if he fries the other part. And then he was doing that consistently. And then one day somebody asked, I have seen you. You know, somebody way to go is you cut off the head, cut off the tail, and throw it away. But not knowing that the reason why this person is doing what she is doing or going that route is because our fry pan cannot accommodate the head and the tail. Did you get the gist? She has a small fry pan, and that fry pan cannot accommodate having the head and the tail. So it has to cut them off. So to the size that our fry pan can accommodate. And somebody can think that is the way to go. And then you just follow suit. Without asking the question, why do you cut off the head and the tail? So, innovative leaders, they ask the right provocative questions. Why is this like this? How do we do this way? Number two, they observe the world differently. They observe the world differently. They see things differently. They try to, how many of us know this game? They call it the devil's advocate. How many of us know that game? That in a team, you have somebody that is like, he acts like the pessimistic. Everybody is thinking, this thing will work, this thing will work, this thing will work. But there's always one person that asks the question, what if it does not work? What if this one fails? What if? So it's not as if the person is necessarily pessimistic, as it were, but the person is trying to see the other side of things. So if we have this microphone like this, what if this microphone have something that makes it able to blow the voice beyond this room? What if? So they observe the world differently. And then number three is they network strategically. They link up with people that think different than them. If you are going to be innovative as a leader, you are going to be able to innovate and create new things, then you don't appreciate similarities every time. You must learn to appreciate differences. Hello? Differences. There is beauty in our differences. Many people, they think somebody having a different opinion to them is against them. But it does not necessarily mean so. Somebody having a different opinion to you helps you to give another perspective of how things can be. So people that will be innovative leaders, they are able to appreciate the differences in people. I am an introvert. She is an extrovert. I am good with speaking. She is good with writing. And then they interact. Because that way, they're able to see things different from the way they see it. Somebody defined a stubborn person. Somebody said a stubborn person is that person that worships at the altar of his own thoughts. When you say somebody is stubborn, is that person that worships at the altar of his own thoughts. He believes his own idea is the only good idea. But if you're going to be an innovative leader, then you must be able to accommodate the differences in people. And then lastly, as I wrap up, innovative leaders are good with experimenting. They don't mind to try things out. Even if it will not work, even if it might not work, they still want to try things out. How many of us have ideas, things that you have written down in your book that you think you are going to do, but you have not made any effort to try them out? I'm challenging you today. Those ideas, that you have written that you think are good ideas, make a step. Take a step to try them out. That is how you will know if it will work or not. On this note, ladies and gentlemen, I hope I have not bored you. This is my own response to the topic, innovation and leadership. Thank you everyone for listening.